The Word became flesh and made his dwelling among us. We have seen his glory, the glory of the one and only Son, who came from the Father, full of grace and truth. The plan of God, conceived from the beginning of time, the plan of redemption, promised in the garden, was about to unfold.
The noise and the bustle began earlier than usual in the village. As night gave way to dawn, people were already on the streets. Store owners were unlocking the doors to their shops. Children were awakened by the sound of night turning up into a new day. There was so much excitement in the air. Augustus did the town of Bethlehem a favor when he decreed that a census should be taken. Many people were now arriving from all over, and the store owners were ready to do business. It is no wonder that no one noticed the arrival of the couple, or wondered about the girl's condition. They were too busy. There was so much to do, to imagine that the impossible was about to occur. That God was going to come into the world as a baby.
I have traveled many moonless nights, cold and weary, with a baby inside, and I wonder what I've done. Holy Father, you have come and chosen me now to carry your Son.
The young mother and the worried father finally found a place to rest, and soon the child would be born. A more lowly place of birth could not exist. The ground is hard and the hay is scarce. The stable stinks, as all stables do. Cobwebs cling to the ceiling, and a mouse scurries across the third floor. And here is where God was born.
Majesty in the midst of the mundane, holiness in the filth of sheep manure and sweat, divinity entering the world on the floor of a stable, through the womb of a teenager, and in the presence of a carpenter. You see, while the world was sleeping, the Son of God made his entrance. I am waiting in a silent prayer. I am frightened by the load I bear in a world as cold as stone. Must I walk
What can I give to this child of yours? How can I stand in your place? How can I father the Son of the Father apart from the Father's grace? Apart from the Father's grace. How can I do what you need me to do and be who you need me to be? How can I hold this child sent from heaven unless you are holding me? Unless you are holding me. Breath of heaven, hold me together, be forever near me. Breath of heaven, breath of heaven, light in my darkness, pour over me your holiness, for you are holy. Breath of heaven, hold me together, be forever near me. Breath of heaven, light in my darkness, pour over me your holiness, for you are holy. Breath of heaven, 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 breath of All was quiet on the outskirts of Bethlehem that night. The lowly outcast shepherds were busy tending to their flocks on the hillside. It was like any other night for these shepherds. They were minding their own business, watching the sheep. When all of a sudden an angel appears with a bold announcement. Do not be afraid, for behold, I bring you good news of great joy, which will be for all the people. For today in the city of David there has been born for you a Savior, who is Christ the Lord. This will be a sign for you. You will find the baby wrapped in cloths and lying in a manger.
The display in the heavens was spectacular as the host of heaven sang and praised God and worshiped Him. There is no doubt that this wasn't just some small ensemble of angels, or even the chief angels, but the entire host of heaven. Every angel was there. Not even the greatest performance on earth, with the most talented musicians, could parallel the incredible celebration that unfolded on the big screen of the sky before these shepherds.
Simple shepherds with little or nothing to offer. No gifts, no wisdom, no pomp and circumstance. The angel of heaven makes the first announcement to them. He went to simple shepherds. When the angel said, "You will find him in a manger," they went. They may have wondered why they weren't going to a palace. After all, wasn't this a king? A savior? For the shepherds, there was nothing to question, simply to obey. They had simple faith, prompt obedience, exuberant rhetoric, and glorifying praise and adoration for God and Jesus.
Meanwhile, the city hums with busyness. The merchants were unaware that God has visited their planet, and the people would scoff at anyone who told them the Messiah lay in the arms of a teenager on the outskirts of their village. They were all too busy to consider the possibility.
Those who missed His Majesty's arrival that night missed it not because of evil acts or malice, no, they missed it because they simply weren't looking. Little has changed in the last 2,000 years.
Or has it?